The first thing you need to realize is what he's trying to hide from you. It's not the kind of thing you feel right away because it's subtle. The signs aren't in what he says, but in what he avoids saying. You've felt it before, haven't you? That strange sensation of being watched, but not in just any way. Not like someone who simply looks at you, but like someone who is studying you, assessing you, trying to find a way to reach you. He's already at the edge. He's preparing himself in some way. He's catching his breath. You haven't noticed it yet. Not because it's obvious, because it wouldn't be. You're used to seeing only the surface, what he says, what he does, what he displays. But what's happening inside him, this emotional whirlwind he's struggling to keep hidden, is invisible to others, even to you. He may have learned to hide this side of himself well, but not for much longer. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. But the truth he tries so hard to contain will reveal itself one way or another. He's not someone who makes grand declarations. He's not a man who finds it easy to open up. No, he's cautious, calculating even. He fears the risk. He's afraid of losing everything. His dignity, his standing, his balance. He's scared of pushing you away permanently. And that makes his silence, what he doesn't say, even more revealing. What he avoids saying is in fact a cry for help. Not that he knows how to ask, but he is asking. He's waiting for a crack, a chance, an opportunity. The signals, and maybe you've noticed some, those quick glances he throws your way, almost imperceptible, as if he's afraid of being caught. He seems to want to say something, but looks away at the last moment. He always has more to say, but he only says enough to keep the conversation professional. His smile, that smile which almost seems disguised, as if he's trying to keep his distance while at the same time unable to hide the spark that appears in his eyes when he sees you. Have you noticed the way he reacts when you talk to other colleagues? That subtle tension, as if he's waiting for your attention. Or when you do something simple, like ask for a favor, he always volunteers to help more than necessary, more than the situation requires. He doesn't want you to have to ask twice. And he knows that if he goes above and beyond, if he does more than expected, he'll show you something more about himself. Something he's not ready to reveal yet, but that's about to burst out. He's starting to feel the weight of what he has inside. What could have been just a friendship has turned into something deeper, more complicated, something he can no longer control. He knows he can't keep living in this limbo. He knows that if he doesn't do something soon, it will be too late. And no matter how much he tries to justify it, no matter how much he looks for reasons not to act, deep down he knows it's inevitable. He's going to confess. He just needs more time, more courage, more reason. If you've noticed this, let me know in the comments. I needed to hear this, perhaps, because yes, that awareness, that energy between you, it's here. He's here. Next to you every day. Do you feel it? He is scared. Scared of being vulnerable, scared of frightening you. But more than that, he is afraid of losing you. That is his greatest fear, more than everything he might lose by exposing himself. He fears that by opening up, he will create a distance that he will never be able to cross. He knows the risk, and that risk terrifies him the most. He has watched you for so long. He has analyzed you in so many ways, yet he still hasn't found the right way to approach you. And you perhaps have no idea how hard he is trying to find a way to show you all that he feels. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way he responds when you talk about your day, about your life outside of work. As if he's trying not to reveal too much, but at the same time he's deeply interested in every detail. The little questions he asks, as if they are just casual conversation, but there's something more behind them. As if he's trying to learn more about you without being too obvious. Have you noticed how he reacts when you talk about your personal relationships? As if he's trying to absorb everything, as if he's measuring the distance between you and him with every word you say. He's starting to realize that this can't stay in silence any longer. This feeling he has tried to hide, this secret attraction, is going to take shape. He knows it, and over time he'll convince himself that he needs to reveal everything that's happening inside him. And when that happens, the dynamics of everything around you will change. It could be a quick confession, a simple statement, I need to tell you something, but that something will be enough to make the ground beneath you shift. He has this hidden courage inside him, and you will notice it. If he hasn't said anything yet, it's because he's preparing himself. Every day, every gesture, every interaction with you is an attempt to gauge the impact of this confession. He's convincing himself that by expressing what he's holding back, he can gain something much more valuable. He can gain you, not in the way he dreams of, not in the way he imagines, but in a way that could change everything between you two. He's not ready for what comes next, but he's getting ready for you. When he finally speaks, it will feel like a relief for him. But for you, have you realized how much this is going to surprise you? Not because of what he says, but because of how you feel afterward. Because his confession will stir something inside you. Something you never knew was there. Something you never imagined could exist. The impact won't be what he expected, but it will be what you needed to recognize. You might even wonder what to do after he opens his heart. And that's when you'll discover that you also need courage. Courage to recognize what is truly before you, because after this, nothing will be the same. Your professional relationship will change. Everything you knew about him will transform, and you will be forced to recognize something within yourself that has also been dormant. Don't underestimate the power of this confession. Don't underestimate how much it can affect the dynamics of your work and your life, because even if you expect nothing, something will happen. And you'll realize this when you least expect it. He will reveal more than just a simple feeling. He will show you something you never knew was right in front of you the whole time. What will you do when he finally speaks? It will be you who will have to find the courage to decide whether to give him the chance to show you what's in his heart. You will realize this sooner or later. Notice that when he speaks, it won't be like any casual conversation. It won't just be an exchange of words. It will be something more, something that can transform the silence between you into fertile ground, where everything that's been held back will finally come to light. The weight he carries will dissolve right there in that moment. But the weight you will feel after hearing his words will be what truly changes the dynamic between you. It will be as if you have to reconsider everything you've thought up until that point, as if you need to piece together this emotional puzzle, one piece at a time. And the most curious part of it all, what will really affect you, is realizing that deep down you already knew. You already knew something was off, that he was holding back, that there was something more behind that facade of a co-worker. What's most interesting is that, even without realizing it, you've already had your own moments of silent reflection, moments when your gaze met his and something passed through you, a feeling, a fleeting thought that there was more there. But you didn't allow yourself to see it. You didn't want to notice, because somehow it scared you. The idea that what he feels could disrupt the stability of your professional life, or perhaps the thought that a deeper relationship between you could change the essence of your work environment, kept you from seeing what was right in front of you. He, on the other hand, already knew. He knew that by exposing himself, he would risk losing everything. But at the same time, he didn't want to carry that weight any longer. When he finally opens his mouth, when you hear his confession, you'll realize something you didn't know about yourself. The shock won't be so much about what he says, but how you will react. How will you react when you feel that perhaps on some level you already knew? How will you react when you realize that deep down you were also holding something back? An attraction, a feeling, a connection that was just waiting for the right moment to surface. It will be a confession that changes everything around you, but also a revelation about yourself. About what you feel and what you're afraid to admit to yourself. You will find yourself asking, now what? What do I do with this? The truth is that after hearing his words, nothing will be the same. You'll have to make a decision, not just about him, but about what you want for your own life. Because throughout all these days, what you've realized isn't only about him. It's about you, about what you feel, about what you want, about what you fear losing. Sometimes we avoid acknowledging things, not because they aren't obvious, but because the fear of change is greater than the courage to face the truth. And the truth here isn't about him. The truth is about how you see yourself in light of everything that's about to happen, how you deal with the unexpected, how you deal with his vulnerability and your own. He's waiting. He's there, waiting for a sign, waiting for the right moment. But at the same time, he feels like he can't postpone this any longer. Each passing day makes it harder because the feelings he's trying to hide only grow stronger. He tries to see you in a professional way, tries to maintain the facade, but he can't. It's as if this feeling has become a part of him, an extension of his own identity. And sooner or later, he's going to need to reveal everything to you. He's going to have to tell you what's inside him, even if it changes everything. The reaction he'll be waiting for is not a scripted response. He doesn't expect a cliché reaction, a simple answer. What he really wants deep down is to know if you'll recognize his courage, if you'll understand the vulnerability he's sharing. He wants to see if you'll see the truth behind his fear. And deep down, you will. Because the truth is, above all, He just wanted to be seen by you. He wanted to be noticed. He wanted you to realize that beneath that professional facade, there is something more, something that cannot be ignored. And when he finally opens up, you'll have to acknowledge how brave he was to do this. You'll need to recognize how much he had to overcome to tell you this. And as you realize this, a part of you will start to open up too. Maybe a feeling you've kept hidden, an emotion you've avoided for so long. Perhaps in that moment you'll see what you've never wanted to acknowledge, what has been there all along, waiting to be recognized. What will you do when he finally confesses his feelings? What will you do when right in front of you, he opens the door to a new reality, where his feelings are no longer trapped? What will you do when his vulnerability touches you in a way you didn't expect? How will you react upon realizing that perhaps this confession is more of a chance to discover yourself than he ever imagined? You'll need to prepare for that, because the moment he speaks, nothing will ever be the same, and your perception of what you want, of what you feel, will change. His silence up until now will be replaced by words, and those words won't just move you. They'll make you see life in a different light, and you'll have to decide what to do with that newfound perception. Will you be able to respond adequately? Will you realize, upon hearing his words, that you also held something you never had the courage to reveal? Will you at last find the bravery to open up, to be vulnerable just as he was? His moment of confession won't just be about him. It will be about you, about what you choose to do with what is about to be revealed. Don't underestimate the impact this will have on your life. His confession is just the beginning of something much larger, something you might only come to understand when it's too late. If you've started to notice the signs, if this has already begun to affect you, tell me in the comments. I needed to hear this, because awareness is the first step. Then comes what you decide to do with it, and that is what will change everything between you two. The truth is that over time he has been leaving clues, small gestures that may have gone unnoticed by you, but now, looking back, are like little signals flashing before you. He never had the courage to be explicit, but each action, each glance, each restrained word subtly revealed how involved he was. He just didn't know how to do it in a way that wouldn't tear something from his soul that he wasn't yet ready to let go of. And deep down, you weren't ready either. You realized something was off, but the idea that he could feel something more for you seemed distant. Work, the daily routine, everything kept you both in a safe place where this kind of confession had no space. But now it's impossible to ignore. The game is about to change, and he knows it. He's already convinced himself that by hiding his feelings, he's fooling himself. The weight of this lie, which he tries to carry, only makes things harder for him. He is tired of playing this game of distance, pretending that everything is fine. Your perception of him, of what he is trying to do, will also change. You will see the truth that is before you, a truth that deep down you already sensed, but perhaps have been avoiding to acknowledge. It will be a shock. It will be a moment of silence that suddenly echoes, as if everything around you freezes for a second. His words will crumble the barrier he built, and you will be confronted with the reality that nothing will ever be the same again. What will you do when he opens up to you? How will you react when you realize that in some way this confession has been hinted at all along? Will you finally have the courage to look at him and yourself in a new light? If this moment of revelation has resonated with you, if you've also noticed something that was hidden, I invite you to reflect on what comes next. What would you do if you were the next to open up? If this conversation didn't end here, what more would you discover? If this text has stirred something within you, the next one will make you reconsider everything. Click here and find out what is waiting to be revealed.